Hey guys, hello and welcome to Create and Singular. Today's topic is about the top 10 future technologies that will change the decade or might shape. So, coming on to the number 10 is Joys of Shopping. Bangalore based Capillary Technologies is building AI tools to help sales staff in a shop get real time feedback based on the interpretation of computer vision data. An early limited capability version is already in deployment, with some customers using it to make better recommendations. Video Concern stores may also surprise you with their latest by bringing them home for you to try them out. Another company, Manthan, has built an AI voice interface called Maya that the CEO of a retail chain can use on a smart speaker and ask questions about their business. Moving on to the number 9, Hospital at Home. Much of what people have to go to the hospital for today will come to their home at their convenience. For instance, portable versions of large scanning machines are being built by startups and medical technology companies. These new generation devices make sophisticated diagnostics available at home. Wearable devices that can monitor patients round the clock and upload data to the cloud securely to their electronic health records are already a reality. They will allow doctors to be alerted to a change in patients' condition and help them decide on the severity of the illness. Hospitals will become centers of immediate diagnostics and treatment, and medical technology will have advanced to a stage where a single scan will tell doctor all that they can glean from the patient's conditions at one go. Techniques such as biopsy, which involves sending a patient's tissue sample for test and getting results before beginning treatment, will disappear. So moving on to the number 8, Creative Education for All. Education for all by 2030 is one of the United Nations Sustainability and Development Goal. From an infrastructure point of view, advances in technology will bring to bear many tools to teaching and learning. An example is virtual reality that can bring alive various concepts, creating an immersive environment in the classroom. With availability of cloud computing and storage, students will have access to their lessons and worksheets wherever they are. And internet connections will be ubiquitous. Teachers too will have to reinvent their roles. They will become catalysts for problem solving and for connecting students and the industry. In the process, learning will become highly interactive at the university level. This will bring with it the germ of entrepreneurship. Moving on to the number 7, Missions to Mars. By 2030, a crewed mission to Mars could be a possibility if one or more of the plans by the government, space agencies and private companies work out. The red planet has been the subject of human imagination for centuries. Real-life journeys to Mars are estimated to take over a year in some cases, or at least 245 days based on a particular scientific calculation, which calls for the availability of much higher energy than the other trips. Scientists have calculated that there are windows of opportunity every 26 months when the relative position of Earth and Mars is such that one can find the optimal trade-offs between the energy needed to transfer a spacecraft from a planet's orbit to that of the Mars and time required to do so. NASA has put forward a plan to put a manned craft on the Mars in 2030. Other nations are also planning various Mars missions. So moving on to the number 6, Printing Cities and Coral Reefs. 3D printing is the process of building an object layer by layer using a 3-dimensional digital model that is fed into a machine that can accordingly lay out the layers using raw materials such as plastic and metals. Advances in technology, technically called additive manufacturing, have allowed for printing everything from parts that could put together a house to customized food to small parts of coral reefs. In March 2017, National Geographic has said in a report, as the oceans become warmer due to climate change, the corals eject blood algae and turn white before eventually dying. These bleaching events are seen in coral reefs around the world. 3D printing fake corals may be a new, better way to restore the reefs. Dubai has a vision that envisages 25% of buildings built in the Emirate in 2030 will be 3D printed. By 2025, the global market for 3D printing is estimated to be $300 billion. Indian Tvasta Manufacturing Solutions, a deep tech startup founded by three alumni of IIT Madras in 2016, has created history by constructing India's first 3D printed house, also saved construction cost by 30%. Moving on to the number 5, a billion drones. A future with drones in it is probably closer than one imagines. The biggest obstacle in the way of the society that routinely uses these aerial unmanned vehicles is more likely to be regulatory than technological. Governments will have to come up with rules to ensure safety before drones can become commonplace. When it comes to drones, we shouldn't limit our thinking to their flying capabilities. Instead, the same drone that can fly may also be able to roll along the ground, jump into a building, climb a tree, stick to a piece of grass, float on water, or swim in it. American futurist Thomas Frey wrote on his website, Frey has predicted that as early as 2030 there will be a billion drones around the world. He has listed a large number of applications of drones, ranging from monitoring forests to policing our cities. Moving on to the number 4, planet internet. This is different from normal satellite internet as it uses laser beams to connect the ground devices to satellite using the speed of light, providing broadband-like speed across the gulf of space. SpaceX, OneWeb and Amazon Project Kuiper are three major contenders in this segment. There are different levels of these. 420 satellites to achieve a minor coverage of Earth, 780 satellites to provide moderate coverage, 1600 to access high speed which can be up to 610 Mbps. Starlink has planned 42,000 satellites, among which 12,000 are already approved for initial stages, while Project Kuiper has planned 3,236 and OneWeb had already launched its 650 satellites successfully.
Let's just say somebody will be able to watch high-def movies, play video games, and do all the things they want to do without noticing speed.
To the number 3, mobile phones. A decade from now, mobile phones will have features that we see in movies and read in science fiction novels. One feature that is pretty standard in movies from Star Wars to Avengers is the hologram. It is likely that by 2030, holographic displays will be commonplace on smartphones. Another big jump will be with processing powers. Today's smartphones are superior to yesterday's desktop-based gaming, for instance, and with the advances in graphics chips that companies such as Nvidia are making, tomorrow's phones will certainly be better than today's gaming consoles. Mobile phones will also dock right into the smart homes of the future and physically into a smart socket or digitally via advanced versions of close proximity communication technology such as Bluetooth. Moving on to the number 2, and robot companies. We are already seeing self-driving cars and automated machines that are doing their work by own. It is known as artificial intelligence. The field of artificial intelligence, AI, is over 60 years old, but it is only in the recent years with the advent of massive computational power and storage that AI is extensively used in business strategies. Advances in related fields such as computer vision and the Internet of Things (IoT) have also helped accelerate the development of AI. There are many different advantages of AI which is growing massively. It can help in medical purpose, it can be useful for schools, education system. Experts feel there is no area that will be left untouched by AI, but the prominent ones that have captured people's imagination are self-driving cars, personalized medicine, new ways of teaching, and combination of AI and robotics. Let's move on to the number 1, the Hyperloops and flying taxis. The Hyperloop is a system proposed by billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, and at least 3 companies are competing to build its commercial version first. The system comprises pods moving rapidly through tubes from which air has been emptied out to near vacuum levels, drastically reducing the friction. Along with the development of Hyperloop, there will be flying taxis as well in the future. An experiment in the area of flying taxis with the financial and technological heft needed to succeed is being orchestrated by ride-sharing service provider Uber Technologies. As part of its Uber Elevate program, it plans to deploy Uber Air electric aerial vehicles capable of vertical takeoff and landing. The company has decided on Dallas and LA for its first trials and said last August that the third location would be either in India, Japan, Australia, Brazil, or France. So here our listing ends. Hope you have liked the video. If you do so, then please subscribe our channel and hope you have a great day and a great life ahead.